This is First Coast Math Clinic with Lesson 5, Graphing Vertical and Horizontal Lines from Unit 7, Graphing. So the goal in this video is to create graphs of vertical and horizontal lines on the coordinate plane. So just a quick review on horizontal and vertical. So horizontal lines go left to right, and vertical lines go up and down. The previous set of graphs that we worked on, when we graphed equations in slope-intercept form, that y equals mx plus b from lesson 7.4, were like diagonal lines, so they can increase as you went left to right or decrease as you went left to right. So today we're going to look at graphs that are either horizontal lines or vertical lines, and look at equations that give us horizontal or vertical lines, and figure out how do we know if our line is going to be a horizontal line or a vertical line. So let's get into some examples. So let's say we're graphing an equation which is y equals any number. So some examples would be y equals 6 or y equals -4. So let's think about this equation, y equals 6. Well, let's find this value on our coordinate plane, okay? So, well, where does y equal 6? So y equals 6, this is 1. So this is our y-axis, this is our x-axis. So here y is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So all we know from this equation is that every y value is 6. So every y value is 6. So to draw this line, well, what direction is this line going to move, right? If I put a point up, right, if I move this point up, well, now y is 7. If I move a point down, now y is 5. So I don't want to move up or down. If I move to the right or left, though, if I move to the right, well, here, y is still 6. If I move to the left, y is still 6 here, right? My height is still 6. So I'm going to move to the left and the right to keep my y value equal to 6. My x value is changing, right? Here x is 0, here x is 1. Here x is 0, here x is -1, but my y value is staying the same, right? So I'm going to move left and right to graph this line. So I'll move to the right, I'll move to the left, all right, and this is going to be my line, and we could assume that those points are just going to continue. All right, so this is going to be our line, or our graph, for that line, y equals 6. Now let's say we're graphing y equals -4. So let's do the same thing. Let's find -4 on the y-axis. So where is y equal to -4? -1, -2, -3, -4. And I want every y value to be equal to -4. So what direction am I going to move? If I move up, well, right here, y is equal to -3. If I move down, here y is equal to -5. I don't want that. Let me clean up this a little bit. So what do I want? I want y to equal -4. So again, I'm going to move to the left and to the right. So y is equal to -4 right here. So if I move to the right, all of these points have a y value of -4 to the right. Same thing if I go to the left. All of these points have a y value of -4. All right, I'm not going to plot all of them. I'm going to assume that if I keep plotting those points, all the y values are -4. So this is going to be my graph for y equals -4. So what's our conclusion, right? If we're graphing an equation y equals any number, what should that line look like? All right, so the graph of y equals any number is going to be a horizontal line. So we notice that when we graph both of these lines, we got a horizontal line and went left to right. So from that, maybe we can make some conclusions about what graphing x equals any number should look like. So if we have our equations x equals -2 or x equals 5, let's graph these two, starting with x equals -2. Okay, so where does x equal -2? So here x is 0, x is -1, x is -2. So where else is x equal to -2? Well, if I move To the left now, well, here x is -3. If I move to the right, here x is -1. I don't want those points. I want x to stay -2. So to do that, now I've got to move up or down, right? If I move up, now my y value changes, but x stays -2, right? Because this is my x-axis. So I'm staying on that -2. And if I move down, my x value stays -2. So this is going to be my graph for x equals -2. And let's do x equals 5. So I'll find 5 on the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want all my x values to equal 5. So I'm going to go up, because each one of these points, x is equal to 5. And I'll go down. Again, each one of these points, x is equal to 5. So I'll connect those points. And this is my graph for x equals 5. So the conclusion that we can make, if we're graphing an equation of x equals any number, well, what should that line look like? The graph of x equals any number is going to be a vertical line. Well, let me highlight that. Graph of x equals any number is going to be a vertical line. Let's do a little bit of practice knowing that x equals any number is a vertical line and y equals any number is going to be a horizontal line. All right, so we've got 4 examples here. Before we do these, let's just go through and put a V next to the ones that are going to be vertical and an H next to the ones that are going to be horizontal. So we know that y equals and y equals a number should give us horizontal lines, right? So we're going to get a horizontal and we're going to get a horizontal line for y equals -1 and y equals 2. And we're going to get a vertical line and a vertical line for x equals 3 and x equals -5, right? So let's graph these. So for number 1, y equals -1. So again, that's my y-axis. That's my x-axis. I'll find -1 on the y-axis. And I'm going to get a horizontal line. So we're just going to sketch in our horizontal line. So all we're doing is finding -1 on the y-axis. So this is y equals -1. Number 2, x equals 3. So I'll find 3 on the x-axis. 1, 2, 3. And we know this is going to be a vertical line, so we can draw our vertical line here. So this is x equals 3. Let's do number 3 in blue. Y equals 2, so we'll find 2 on the y-axis. 1, 2. And we know this is going to be a horizontal line. So we'll just draw our horizontal line. And we'll label this y equals 2. And the last one, x equals -5. We'll find -5 on the x-axis. 1, 2, so negative are going to the left, right? That's our negative. This is our positive. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we know this is going to be a vertical line, so we want a vertical line. So this is going to be x equals -5. Okay. All right, so this was lesson number 5, graphing vertical and horizontal lines. So the lines we're getting our, the equations we're getting are x equals a number, y equals a number, and we're getting horizontal and vertical lines from those equations. From Unit 7, graphing. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see any additional topics made into videos, just leave them in the comments. Again, I hope these videos are helping you guys. Again, if you like these videos, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. First Coast Math Clinic.